Doom, doom, da. ASD Unfiltered. Are we good? Are we looking good? Unfiltered. Nice. I had to look this time because I was like, what do we kept
I know, we kept
confidential.
You kept saying.
That's why I printed out the sign.
And if you were listening last week or whenever we put these stupid things out, listen. We might not even put that one out because it was so redacted.
Oh, the last one.
I just couldn't stop talking about
Certain things.
yeah, but whatever. I don't know. Like those things are important. Honestly, like when it comes to gym hygiene, it's important. The problem is when it gets a little too specific. I guess like we've all smelt, and that's the problem. Is like some people are just more sensitive, I guess, about it, and we have to be okay with that. Yeah.
You know, what's funny is after that happened, one of the days I felt like I need some deodorant, so I ran to the bathroom. I was like, shh.
Crazy thing. We're one of the cleanest gyms, and we try to keep it clean physically. What am I trying to say? We have a clean ass gym.
Yeah.
Like on the floors, the ceilings, the walls. Well, maybe not the ceilings, but it's way too high to reach. It's more of like a clean space, you know. So like when somebody comes in and they're not as clean or they might smell a little bit, you know, it's just whose responsibility is it to tell them? You know, like it would be nice if Gemma could just come in and, you know, take the brunt of all that. Yeah, I don't see that. All right. So, real quick shout out from Dave to Nia Conklin. Guess what? Dave loves you. And so do we. Nice. And now that we got that positive affirmation, let's get into the negative. Let's go the opposite direction on that. So what's up, Manny? How's it going? Oh, yeah, Brian. Oh, R.I.P. to the DOG. He's having an operation right now, so he's, you know, he might be back next time. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I feel bad for the guy, you know, like having so many issues with his, you know, we can't talk about it, but, you know, he's just going through a lot. He's going through a lot, and he's, you know, they're just working on him from, you know, not head to toe, but, you know, toe to, you know, groin, I guess. I don't know if you want to. We'll just say, you know, he's going through it. So, but, you know, we're with you, Brian. We love you. More positivity. Boom. So, yeah, I was like thinking, you know, like we're here a lot. You're here a lot.
Yeah.
I used to be here a lot more. But I don't know, man. There's got to be like this is work now, right? Right?
Yeah. I think so.
There's got to be like a work-life balance. Well, before, like, you were here minimal. You were doing so much stuff everywhere else. Like, you were busy doing stuff. And then we kind of stole you away from your life.
Yeah.
And asked you politely to rearrange it for, you know, like, so you could coach more. Yeah. So, you know, what's up with the balance, man? What are you doing to keep yourself centered? Because when I was teaching all day, every day, it was, I don't know, man. You wake up, you're teaching, you teach, and then you go to bed, you know, kind of thing. And
sometimes I'll take a nap.
That's
why I want to do it slowly to see how much I can handle, you know, because it's, you know, it's a little different than where we used to work, right?
Yeah.
Because that has a set a script like you follow. It's pretty easy, you know. It's more for newer coaches and stuff like that. So.
Well, here's the funny part is you make this look easy without a script, Manuel. Like, so I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, we've found a way to make it easy. So
yeah,
I guess you're right. For new coaches, not so much.
So I just wanted to, see how many classes and.
So what are you doing to compensate, man? Like, because that's a lot. It's just a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing to unwind? You just came back from
Mexico.
How was that?
Yeah, I think that, I think we need breaks for sure throughout the year. I was like, because it's always a tough call because, like, once you get momentum, then you don't want to take a break, and then.
Absolutely. And your classes always suffer, right?
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not anybody's fault,
Yeah.
people know you're not there, and it just.
Yeah. So then, decided to take the break, and then I was like, oh, wow, you could tell, like, we need it.
Yeah. You feel so much better when you get back.
Yeah, like you're just
energized,
refreshed. Yeah, you're like, man.
I was doing this for so long, it kind of got monotonous in a way, like that's why the privates help, doing stuff on the side or having a second job or even, whatever, having hobbies.
Yeah.
What'd you do in Mexico? Can you tell?
Or
it stays there. What happens there stays there.
No, let me see. We had some good food, bunch of Mexican food. We went to the beach.
Is that like when you eat the most is when you're like kind of on vacation? Because you're pretty
That's when I
clean.
eat the most, like, like
stuff that
tortillas.
you don't always eat.
Yeah, stuff that I don't keep around. So there was a spot over there that was like, it's called Biscuit something, and it was like a breakfast spot.
Nice.
They made the best biscuits like I've ever
like biscuits
had.
and gravy kind of biscuit, or you just eat
it was just a plain biscuit. They
nice.
served it with butter and some type of like jam, but you could tell that the jam was fresh too, but it didn't even need that. It was so good. And it was we were invited by another group that we met. It was like a group of 5 people that we just met one night, and then the next day we all had breakfast together. So
nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Man, I think we're about due for another trip. I got, because now I'm working at so much work on that second job now, and it's time.
Yeah.
Like that monotony is setting in because I've just been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and it's just like, I don't know.
It's tough.
We'll cut this out because that's unnecessary. Let's transition. Talking about work sucks. Let's talk about class, which is work. Which is your work. Let's see. We got fighters coming up. What does a typical fight training camp look like? What do we usually? I don't know if you guys are just listening to this for the first time. We're in charge of the fighters. And we don't even fighters is. I'm going to use that term loosely because nobody here is a fighter. We love to train and we love to fight, but I mean real fighters like grind, like we're at the beginning. If somebody thinks they want to be a fighter, this is the best way to start. But I mean, let's
back
be
up
real.
Here. Define fighter in a sense of what you're talking about, like a paid fighter.
I think that that and I don't know. I feel like a broken record talking about Woodenman, but like he brought up a really good point. Like we have fighters have goals of fighting. They don't have goals of paying bills and working a 8 to 5 job. People who want stuff, people who live life like normal people. Like they're like, okay, I need money to pay bills. Fighters just want to fight and they want to train to fight, and it's like they don't get paid to train. That's the crazy part. It's like these guys only get paid when they win big in a big organization, a big what do you call that? Like a production, like when you have a large group and people are paying to see these people, like Fight Night. Fight Night 3 is coming up. Are you going?
Fight Night 3.
Yeah, the Tech CU Arena, I think it is.
Yeah, I want to go to that. That's next week.
What's her name?
17th.
Lena Bader is gonna fight. I think that's her name. Is that her name? Lena?
I don't know.
She's a smash fighter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bad, dude. She's like, so when we were fighting, or back in the day, back in our day, back in the heyday, we used to go to the point sparring, and she would be there just wrecking fools, like wrecking through. They used to, I think every fight she's ever been in, she either finished or they stopped it because she's not allowed to finish in a point sparring.
Yeah.
But she was wrecking fools. And so basically they kicked her out of point sparring because she was too good. They were like, what are you doing? You need to go Amy. And so she's been fighting ever since. And her last opponent pulled out because she was, I don't know, for whatever reason. So like this is, I don't know how many fights she's had, but this is, she's going to be fighting there.
Nice.
And then Triple OG from back in the day moved up and has her own thing going now over at Fightcraft. Priscilla, I think, just fought not too long ago, which was pretty awesome. She went amateur.
No, okay.
Yeah, which is actually, it's cool to see these guys, like, because I'm telling you, man, like, fighters, you know where to go, like, if they want to fight. Like, if anybody ever wanted to be that guy, like, we have you and Romero. Well, I'm going to say mostly you because you have way more. They have way more access to you. They have a learned coach who can walk them through the steps.
Yeah.
But coaches make money when they're training fighters.
Yeah.
Fighters aren't making money. They're the ones paying the coaches. So it's like, if ever we get somebody that dedicated to, like, you know, grab one of you, like, you would break off and focus on this person, you know, because they're the ones that are, you know, paying for your time or whatever, you know, like you would focus on this person.
Yeah.
And that means they would have to be trained with their nutrition, which you are 100% all about. You would have to run them like 2-a-days at least.
Yeah.
And then have them go with them hitting the cardio on the weekend. Yeah. Like Coach used to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Rudy's been doing.
Yeah.
Driving along that road. I don't know. I wish. Is that where's that road? Do you know? You don't remember? Come on, dude. You have everybody here.
Is it Alum Rock?
Somewhere up there.
It's a secret.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Undisclosed.
You're right. You're right. That is. You're right.
We don't want people to roll up on.
We don't. Yeah, we don't need. Yeah, especially. Yeah, that's a goat location. So, cheers to them for keeping it. And look who's smarter. This is supposed to be Did we change the name?
No, it's unfiltered.
Has it always been
unfiltered?
I feel like uncensored is wrong, right? Because we're very censored.
Unfiltered and uncensored are two different things.
Yeah, I guess so.
I printed it out for Brian. He messed up last time.
Yeah.
Brian's not here.
It's actually taking his place right now. That's where Brian would be sitting. So, again, our thoughts and prayers are with you, Brian, on your operation.
Brian is
we totally
okay.
get it.
He's not getting an operation.
We totally get your want and need to want to change, you know, and it's fine. Go ahead, do you? We love you either way, no matter which, you know, how you identify. So now. Let's go to the next topic.
So we have been. I took them for sprints and stuff.
Nice.
The last fight camp. So we'll do it again.
There's
a spot nearby that I like to.
You make them go meet you on the weekend?
Yeah.
Nice.
Saturdays.
Or you go after class
before.
or. Nice in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what kind of sprints?
Just uphill.
Uphill.
20-second.
And then you rest, and then 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I never
Are you having
him
them rest? So like one time.
I never tell him how many we're
one
time
like I was doing this stuff with like Andrea and Shane, and we would do like this thing where it was a straightaway though, and you'd sprint for like I want to say it was like 20 seconds, and then you'd jog for 40, and you'd do intervals like this, like interval sprints.
Yeah.
Except I didn't understand what I was doing at the time, because I was like, it was the first time I ever ran. It was the worst choice of my life.
Yeah.
And I just started sprinting, and I felt the sprint, and Shane's like, bro, you want to dial back on that? And I was like, man, it felt so good to sprint. And I sprinted, and then I had to stop, and then I couldn't sprint again because I was dying. I did it once.
Yeah.
I did it once, and I
did
never
it once,
again.
and then I had to. I was constantly trying to keep up with them because I was so far back because I was like,
yeah.
It was so funny.
And that was in 2020.
Yeah, I was back.
Never
that was
again.
a long. Was it? It was.
I
That was like
really
5 years ago.
Wow.
Whatever.
That's what I want to do with them. I didn't do that this time.
Well, they can't. They don't do it anymore because his knee is all messed up. So like they just stop. That's why they stop. They'll walk. That's what they do. That's what old people do, Manny. See, you'll get there eventually.
So the past 10 years, that's what I did. There's a trail right here, and I would jog. And then,
is it the Alviso Trail or something like that over here?
So then I'd sprint.
Secret
uphill.
place. Sorry. Secret.
So I'd sprint I'd do like 5 sprints within my 3.5 mile jog. It's money. It's like the best thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. Well, outdoors is clearly better than being stuck indoors, even though you're on those. One of the things they said that I heard, you have to have good shoes, like really good shoes, because like running on pavement is really bad for your knees.
Yeah.
I heard, and that's why those tracks sometimes have that like kind of rubbery ground.
Yeah, this one does. So it's good.
So I was gonna say, is that a thing? And that's perfect. Yeah, because I don't remember when it was. I think it was when I started running, and I was like complaining all the time about my knees, and I was like, yeah, that's why I don't run anymore, because I'm like, this is a lot of weight to be dropping on these knees, and it's like so much easier to just sit on my fat ass and ride a bike. So that's what I do. There's also, I don't know if you've ever done this. Like, I don't know if there's more PT. Shane told me to do this, and he said to keep it chill, but I ended up doing it for, what was that first time? Was it half an hour or 20 minutes?
Half an hour.
I ended up going half an hour. I was holding a squat and walking backwards on a 20-degree incline at 0.5 miles an hour. So it wasn't fast, or maybe it was 1. It was somewhere, like it was the first notch on a treadmill going at the highest altitude. Yeah. And I was squatting low and just kind of pushing against the track. Yeah. So that you would feel that like push, almost like a skill mill, but like just on an incline treadmill. And I climb off, and my knees, like, I don't know, it took a second for it to kick in, but as soon as I get close to because they have these badass. So let's think recovery. What do you do for recovery? Because my knees were, I don't know how to explain the pain that I was in, but it was hard to stand on my legs, like just straight. I'm pretty sure Shane told me to do it for like 10 minutes at a time. Yeah. But going half an hour, and then it just hurt so bad. So what do you do for recovery? Because we have this cool thing that we're thinking about investing in. They're like sleeves that go over your legs, and they compress. Oh. I don't know if they massage. They just compress, right? They just compress. So like they have different sections in the full leg length, the sleeve, and each one fills up at different times, and they all kind of just really compress, and then it'll unload at different times, and then it kind of goes up and down, and it squeezes, and it adds that compression. Have you ever done that?
Never done it.
Fuck, it's awesome.
And then you sit in this anti-gravity chair.
And so once you're in the sleeves, you're sitting in this anti-gravity chair that has this cool little nub, and you just play with the nub, and it'll extend your feet, and then it'll also go all the way back like this, so that your head is below your heart. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Nice. Never done that.
Never done it. You done it?
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, nice. I only did it. We did it twice.
A couple times, yeah.
Twice.
Oh, so we're thinking about investing, though. The problem is they're so, like, something like this is so, like, on point that, like, I'm a medium, maybe, and she's a small, and it's not a matter of buying the sleeves because the device doesn't cost that much. The sleeves are what costs more. So if you need a different size, you have to buy a whole other set. Yeah. Because each sleeve comes with a little air thing or compressor.
Yeah.
And it's like the compressor isn't really what you're paying for. You're paying for the damn sleeves in themselves, because the sleeves alone are, I don't know, 3/4 of the cost.
Yeah.
And it's like, man. So we're thinking about it, but
Nice.
it's actually really useful.
Well, when I said I wanted to buy it, you're like, why do we need to buy it? We can just go to Bake Club.
Fair enough. I mean, honestly,
I want to buy it.
yeah, we're probably gonna buy it. But I mean, it's still like, I don't know, whatever.
So normally foot massage. You ever got a foot massage?
Actually, Nathan. No, I mean, when I go to get a massage, they massage your feet.
Yeah. Okay. So
But it's not a great, it's just,
you don't. Okay.
It's like 5 or 10 minutes on the feet, but it's like the rest of the time on the rest of your body.
Yeah.
So it's like they spend time on your feet always, but like I've never just got a foot massage.
Well, yeah, that's how it is usually. I mean,
5 or 10 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes or something like that.
At least 15, 20. If you
Okay.
get
Is that like at the mall?
No,
Do you go to the
there's
mall?
one on El Camino that I've been going to ever since I started training.
And this is just they're massaging your feet, or they're massaging you
They
with
massage
their
your
feet?
arms and everything like that, but they spend majority of the time on your feet.
It's like
And
a
I-
foot spa, right?
No, foot
No.
spa is
I don't-
not. Foot spa,
You
they
can ask
massage
them
you with their
just to
feet.
do the feet.
Yeah, you could.
Well, the foot massage one they do most of the time
Yeah.
on the feet. And I
That's
always
cool.
fall asleep.
Do you
But-
stick your feet
Nice.
in a bottle in the water?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's to
so it's
start,
like-
and
yeah.
then they start on your
Yeah, so it's
head,
like
go to
foot
your
spa.
arms, and then they spend like a good amount of time on your feet.
But
But I've
so it's like
And-
your limbs, right? Not your body. Like it's not a back
yeah, they do your
massage.
legs and they do a little bit of your back, like maybe
Like upper back, like shoulders and
minutes or
stuff.
something.
Oh, okay,
And when they're done, they like
we got to do this.
yeah,
to
yeah.
wake you up.
My foot would be so. The only time I get massage on my feet is when I do pedicure, because like they always like kind of they rub
okay.
in some
Yeah,
stuff.
this
like
is
it,
like-
it's like two. It's like they'll take a minute
Yeah,
and like rub your. The owner like hooks it up, but like that, and then yeah, and then when you get a massage, but they only spend like 5 minutes.
yeah.
is-
See,
No, we actually have a couple of again, like I don't know, we're all about this recovery crap. We have the Theragun.
oh yeah.
So we bought she has a foot pad
Mm-hmm.
that you put your feet on
love it.
flat, and it just vibrates. Like you
And
know
it
those
heats up.
county fair things where you sit in a thing and it just vibrates your feet.
Yeah.
So it heats up.
Yeah.
The flat pad?
Yeah, you can heat it up if you want to. It's an option.
That's kind of cool. And then the cool thing that I have is a shiatsu thing that you slide your feet in.
Yeah.
It also heats up, so you want to wear socks because your feet sweat, which
Yeah.
is the down. But like it rubs the bottom and it squeezes the top,
Oh, okay.
so it's like perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so like, oh man, we're not new to like the foot game.
Yeah.
You know, we take care of our feet because like we're on them all day, every day.
Yeah. It's one of the more important things.
Yeah.
So
This
yeah. So recovery, I'd
freaking gym
recommend.
gave me plantar fasciitis. No, it's not the gym. It's my terrible. It's everything else.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's one thing. Another thing is like the bath salts. I used to do it like every Thursday after sparring.
Nice.
Just take a hot bath.
Yeah.
It would suck, but then
And then smoke the salts.
yeah.
Bite somebody's face off and shit.
20 minutes in there, and I'd be good for Saturday. So. Yeah.
And then let me see what else. Have you ever? What is this? We're at that time now where we're gonna just bring up the silliest, most nonsense things. Like,
Well, let's
They're
talk about the fighter
superlative.
thing real quick, because I think being a fighter it's a mindset. You know, people have day jobs and stuff, but
oh yeah, let's bring it back to the topic.
yeah,
that we were-
because I know that, maybe
Yeah, and that's-
maybe somebody might watch and get a little discouraged, but I think yeah, it really is.
Well, I mean,
it's
just
a mindset.
the label. Like, you don't have to call yourself a fighter. Like, you could say, I like to train.
Mhm.
You know, like, and if ever given an opportunity, I would I would say yes, and that's what we have right now. We have a lot of people who train in their free time, but they're not the dedication. It's just like it's too hard to like to have that mindset, but not be able to follow through with it is hard as hell. It's got to be hard as hell. Like on anybody who is like that dedicated, it's like fuck. I didn't make it that day. I'm pissed. You know, just like. I'm at the point where it's like, why are you mad, bro? You just missed a day. But it's like a real person who's in that mindset would be like, I can't miss a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I miss a day. That means I missed 2 trainings and a recovery or something. I don't know, like something weird like this. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, that's why I always told people, I'm like, I mean, it falls back on the do as I do, or do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
In my case. Because I'm like, if you guys really cared, you would eat right. You would get like Fike. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Such a change.
Yeah.
Like she said she wanted to fight. She dropped the weight. She's doing privates. She's doing road work. She's doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
She tries to get here twice a day sometimes. I can see her come here during the day. I'm like, man, that's dedication.
Yeah.
So in your mind, in your opinion, would she be considered a fighter?
When your job takes precedence over your training, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's a decision.
Oh no, you said it. It's a mindset.
Yeah, that you make, and I think certain things have to happen that create a fire. That like make you decide you want to. Because I really do think you are fighting against yourself. Yeah. Every day, and it's almost like you're killing the old you every day. Absolutely. And it's not really about, anything else. But it's we have all these distractions, that like want to keep us in the same spot. Yeah.
Or backtrack or do something else completely.
Yeah. So it's like once you make that decision to say no to that, and it sucks because it's like family, friends, partners, like they're all trying to keep you for their own benefit, the same you, because they know that you. But once you decide, I'm not going to be that same person, you decide to fight against all that and improve every day. It's like, that's why it's tough and lonely, because it forces them to change on some level too, whether it's how they react to you or if they decide to grow with you. Yeah. So it's like,
Huh. How insightful. That was fucking insightful as hell, man. Like,
but I also think that you can still be a fighter but have a normal job. Yeah. Like you can't aspire to be.
No. I agree 100% with what Manny just said. Like he's hit the nail on the head. It's a mindset. Like if these guys, eat, drink, sleep, fighter in their head, and they do everything, like I said, I would say yes and no at the same time. But like I like how he put it. It makes 100% sense that way. Like it's a mindset, 100%. So if you're there,
I'll take it another step that I won't necessarily like tell the fighters and stuff like this. But it's what I've thought of early on when I started competing. And I almost didn't. I had to be careful because, we want to win, right? Yeah. But I never necessarily cared about it. About winning. It was never about winning for me. But I seen how important it was to the team and the coaches. So, like I played the game and I tricked myself sometimes, but it was never about that. It was like, I decided to do this thing and I'm going to grind it out. Yeah. And in the end, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
I never got that does it matter. I understand the grinding out because like my goal was to win.
Yeah. But, like some people need that. It
wasn't about winning. Yeah. Like you said.
Yeah. Some people need it. And, but I don't know what it was. Just
always that internal battle.
Weird thing that I didn't care about.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I'm gonna put myself in the fire, no matter what, and yeah, it's like no matter what, I'm gonna win because I'm just testing myself.
Yeah.
And then, you know, going through that fire is like.
Do your goals ever change though? Like, does it then at some point when you're more
comfortable?
We never really got to fight.
That's what I'm saying. When people when they have a goal of like being a certain type of champion, like, oh, I want to be, you know, because there's different organizations, right?
Yeah.
I always liked glory, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I thought about it. I was like, you know, should I make that a goal? You know, things like that. And yeah, you know, obviously you have to win and stuff.
Yeah.
But I see people get down on themselves, and a lot of people get defeated and then just stop.
Yeah.
So like in my head, I was like, I'll never stop.
Bro, I stopped so many times. Coach I used to get so frustrated sometimes. Like I would stop most nights, and then Gemma would be like, you know, you're being stupid, right? And it usually was like, hey, look at this thing that you were saying that wasn't happening. See how it's happening? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he always picking on me? Like a bitch. Why is he picking on me every night?
How come
man?
he doesn't like me?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, so, you know.
Nice. Let me see. You don't even, when do you take class anymore? Just Shane's class. How do you balance being a coach and a student?
So yeah, so
I take your class.
Oh yeah, sometimes Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
So I pay attention because me and Ramiro, since you've been doing the day job thing.
You just do the nighttime, right? Like sometimes when you're not.
Yeah, so I pay attention.
You jump in.
I see what he's teaching, and then I try to emulate it and do the technique that he's teaching. So me and Ramiro, we switch off every other week.
Yeah.
So then, so I, you know, I'm learning from him, right? Because he has a different style and a different.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously we have like online programs that we. Right, and then
we're so lucky to have all of us.
Yeah.
Like I like that we don't have. I mean, we're all essentially trained by the same person.
Yeah.
But we have our own style.
Yeah.
And I like that
because we got things from other things too, and we put it into that unique form.
And we have our own style of how we did what we were supposed to do. Like even. And that's why Coach used to hate me so much because I do everything but like my own way.
Yeah.
Like he used to hate that shit. He's like, do it this way. You know, I remember he used to get mad at me so much for that. But like,
so yeah, I think we need that. We need to be, well, at least for me, I need to be a student forever.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to be learning. So like.
We were just thinking, I was actually, I don't know who I was talking about that. We were just talking about that like this morning or yesterday about if the second we stop learning, we're essentially, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, especially when you're responsible for others, right? You gotta, you know, see keep what, keep that going.
Keep it going.
You know, I'll do, I'll watch some curriculum and. It helps me decide what I'm going to teach. And then obviously you always have to be willing to, you know, simmer it down if there's newer people or if it's more advanced, then you pick it up, you know, you add stuff to it.
Are there any seminars coming up that we're like jonesing on? Like I know there was just one that did you guys get to go to that? You went to Woodman's, right?
Yeah, we went to Woodman's. Yeah.
It was, do you remember what her name was? I don't. That was a pretty nice, I like going to seminars there because he always gets a lot of really, like, I don't know, like really good, I don't know, talent. I don't know how to say it. Like they're always really good fighters or they have a good pedigree or background or whatever. And they're always from Thailand and shit. And it's just like, it's pretty cool to learn that stuff. Like more traditional Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I like it.
So she's deep. The fighter that came was deep. She's deep in the game. She's the active fighter. So
it's still active.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she has a goal in mind, like of a certain belt, and so it was good to, get some knowledge from her for sure. So, yeah.
Excellent.
So that's one way too. Seminars.
Yeah. We always keep it. I guess it would be good to like bring more people, but like it's good that we can, as coaches, absorb and then bring back and share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So. But yeah, I have been. Sometimes I'll take fight tactics.
Coaches expect to stay fit year round. That's fucked up questioning. I'm looking at these questions that I got here, and there's 3 questions that are just that I think we definitely should talk about.
Yeah.
Should coaches spar with students?
I like how both of you laughed because you know the answer.
Fuck yeah, we should.
Yeah, we
That's
should.
like my favorite.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and then the problem therein lies is sometimes I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's okay. It's okay, but sometimes I like worry because like I'll see somebody get swept and then swept again and again, and I'm just like, dude, when is enough? Like he gets a point. Like you don't got to sweep him again, or I don't know. That's the only thing that I could think of that's like a negative. Is when you're like, well, actually, no, forget it. I think it's 100% okay.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, sometimes you got to make an example.
I mean, for me, when we would spar, Coach.
You got to spar with Coach?
Yeah.
Oh, he never sparred with us.
Oh, yeah.
Like real spar, or him like actually holding back because he knows that he can.
Well,
because
like I always thought he would.
I mean,
I'm not going to spar. He always said,
spar,
"I'm not going to spar with you because I'll beat the shit out of you or something like." Because, and I think 100% is because we had no. Yeah, I know. Because I didn't have control back then. I still don't have control, but like, it's because I hit too hard. And he's like, "If you fucking hit me, I swear to God, I bet if you hit me, I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah.
Like I could just see him doing something like that.
So I mean, the way sparring is supposed to be is like flowing, like you're not going 100%, right? So
Leo and I used to go 100%.
So when we as coaches go with the students, of course we're not.
Yeah, we have to dial it.
And a lot of
way
them,
down.
A lot of them, we know certain things, certain tricks that are gonna like just land all the time. So it's like we're not doing that, So
well.
I mean,
like I said, when you see somebody get swept for the 4th time, and you're just like, why is this happening?
Yeah. So
have mercy.
So when I would go to with Coach, I'd see a lot of people, they're younger and faster, and maybe the timing isn't there, but it was mostly a mental thing.
Oh, everybody was afraid to,
and so I was
to
just
stand
like,
in front of Coach.
I said, F that. Like, I'm going to bring it,
Yeah.
Especially I have to because I'm shorter. So it's like, I can't just stay on the outside. I'm going to have to eat some stuff to get in. So, I mean.
You caught him a couple times?
No, I want to say, I mean, I got over the mental thing. And, I think I ended up like hitting him in the knee one sparring session, or I hit him somewhere and he couldn't like spar with us after that like for a while.
So you're the reason why he had that knee problem.
Probably.
How funny.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the only thing I had. It's like I have to go for the leg kick. Like, what am I gonna?
And his damn legs were so long, and you're just like, I can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna spam that shit. So it's like,
how funny.
So, and he, and
also the height difference between you two is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's it's like. I think that you got over that hump of fear of going in on people way before you got with Coach. I think that's why, like, you're already used to bigger guys all the time, and dealing with that, because that's always been you've always had to do that. I think Lou was the only one that was your height back then. Yeah. Lou and
Vivian and Yanette also.
Yeah, but
they're girls. So
they're girls. They were always together.
We weren't allowed to go, a certain amount on them.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we should spar with the students. Like,
Yeah.
we could, like for that mental thing.
Yeah.
And then,
and you know what's great? As a lot of those kids that we came up training and they're only here because of us.
Yeah.
They're getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. They're not, because I remember in the beginning, man, when we used to just tear them up.
Yeah.
They would all be afraid. They were like, oh, where I'm going with coach, or something silly like this.
Yeah.
And I like how they're getting more comfortable with themselves, with us, with everything. Like, I like it.
Yeah.
We're doing such a good fucking job, Manny.
Because the way I see a coach, we'll teach them some things, but I think they should pass us at a certain point. They should be better than us at a certain point. And then so from there, our job is just mostly to keep them accountable, So
absolutely.
I think at some point they should be better than us, and we're giving them all the knowledge we have, and if they implement it and stay long enough, that should be the trajectory that they're on.
Yeah.
So that's why I want them to get over that mental thing, and then like, hey man, you should be beating me up, like.
Yeah.
You got
that's our ultimate goal. Is like I remember when when Ev always used to challenge us, we always had to hold back at some point, because in the beginning we had that thing with him, because he would just stand there with a little bit of a Philly shell and wait for us to come at him, and we were always afraid to attack him because we knew something was coming. And I remember once he actually taught me a lesson. I was keeping my distance with my hand.
Yeah.
And so he up-kicked my bicep.
Yeah.
Or my tricep right there in my freaking arm. And it hurt so bad. It was like anything I tried on him, it just wouldn't work. And I remember trying to kick him. He would be looking right in your freaking eyes and catch the kick. Yeah. Like with the bottom of his foot. Like you'd go kick him and he'd block it like nothing. Like it was so intimidating until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then we all just kind of had to hold back because we didn't want to knock him out. Yeah. Because he would always be like, come on, you could do. And we're like, no, man, you're going to break a hip or your heart or your contact lens. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I remember that. And he'd always train with that big guy, Brian. And Brian they would go at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How about dating, Manny? Are you single? No. This says, should instructors date students?
Shouldn't. Oh.
This is a good question, I guess.
So when I was a student, I never got into, what was going on behind the scenes, So there was a lot I didn't know,
Yeah.
And but then becoming a coach, you see everything, right? And you see dynamics and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And so there might be outliers and stuff, but when you're in that position as a coach, there's a little bit of power at play.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unfair. And as a coach, I don't even necessarily think you would want it necessarily because of that power. Wouldn't you rather have somebody kind of like you?
Well, like you said, there's outliers.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna shit on like people that have done it because maybe they.
I mean, it's gaucho, but whatever.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's instances where it's been successful, and then a lot that haven't.
A lot.
Just because that power, it's like a teacher and a student, like in college or something. It's it's hard to.
And it's just as bad when students date other students, and they both go here.
Yeah, that's why I never wanted to do that either, because this was like my spot.
Yeah.
It's like,
do you tell your fighters not to date other students?
I haven't told.
Yeah, we don't really tell people who not to date. There was one case where some, clearly I was hearing it from both sides, and I was just like, I don't even remember. I told them not to do anything, and now both of them are gone. But it was like I went to her and I'm like, she's like, oh well, he's blah 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 and he blah 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 blah, and I was like, dude, you got to leave that alone. And she's like, well, he. And then I was like, bro, you do this and you're gonna ruin the whole dynamic. And he's like, whatever. So it was just like, okay, these kids are choosing to do this thing, and now neither one of them are here. So
yeah, I think it's inevitable. Like even if we do say don't do it, it's just gonna make them want to do it.
Yeah, it's like that syndrome. There it is.
Yeah, it's the forbidden fruit, you know. So.
Okay, here's the worst question now. The last one. We'll end on this one. Should coaches be expected to stay fit year round?
You know, that's actually a good question, because I see a lot of coaches that aren't, you know, and I'm like, huh. So the thing is,
you stay fit year round, but you're on like a diet.
For my standards, I want to say I'm fit.
Yeah, but you are on this diet. What do you mean you're not fit? Well, because you don't work out enough?
If Manny's not fit, then that's
fucking
fit.
Crazy. Because
no one here is fit if Manny's not fit.
Here's the fucked up part.
Ridiculous.
Brian is okay because he does a lot of sports. He has to stay relatively limber. He's got his little beer belly coming out, but for him, it's so small. Like, it's not even. I have a beer belly.
Okay.
He doesn't. If we were comparing, I'd be like, bro, you could fit like 4 of your bellies in mine. But it's. I found that when I started, and it was right away when I started teaching all the damn time and working in my free time, I didn't feel like working out very much.
Yeah.
Like, I was always working, and I also want to say, like, I have a dusting of like depression or something over all of this work that I'm doing that I don't want to do or feel like I'm doing because I have to, or it's like all this shit that I have to do, like, and it's I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't make me motivated to do other things, like, and that's the worst part, is because, like, I know it's all mental, you know. Actually, it's 100% mental, but it's like the motivation just isn't there, you know, and that's the part that sucks. It's like, I'm always here. Just like, I live at this gym, but I don't work out here very much. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Because you just keep a balanced diet of vegetables and shit.
I try to get some work in every day somehow. Like last night, I had the fighters go on the bag for 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes. So I joined them.
Always.
You know? After the noon class, I did some kettlebells, you know, for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But yeah, I noticed how easily you could stop training, because
it gets overwhelming, right?
You're trying to get other people better. And, you know, I seen it, like I said, with a lot of other coaches. They're just overweight, you know. And
yes, I'm older than you, man. And I'm overweight.
But I'm saying, like, other gyms and stuff that I've seen it a lot. And then, yeah, it's a tough.
We went to the Venom training camp, and there was a guy shorter than me, bigger than me. And this is back when I was fighting too. So, like, if you can imagine a beautifully brisk 185-pound specimen walking into a gym with this guy who was shorter and rounder training me Muay Thai. Thank God there were fighters there, because, like, we got to this is like, it was pretty cool because I got to train with some fighters, like actual fight. Well, I don't know if they're like amateur fighter, like, you know, working on their way to being amateur fighters. And so that was cool, but, like, I was just like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, but that gym was soft. Everything in there was soft. I was like, the pads are soft.
They had such soft bags. I was like, man, this is the coolest
I was like, we were kicking the pads, and I was like, why is it so soft?
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessary, but, you know.
I think as long as the instructor can demonstrate the moves that they're asking
we always
of the
said
students,
that,
it's
especially
okay.
about like Johnson or like Shane when he was bigger, like because both these guys were like, I don't know, man. They again, like I don't know about Shane, but I know Johnson slipped into a little bit of depression, just like me, you know, like, and you just stop. Everything stops. You're focused on work or dealing with life or just nonsense like that, and you just kind of stop. It's my favorite picture, and we'll put it in post. But it was Shane actually sitting on Johnson, who was laying on his side like a couch, and he just sat on him like a fucking couch. It was crazy, but like right now, dude, and I had to ask him, I'm like, how did you lose so much weight? Because he lost like 40 pounds in the last like year or so. And he's like, dude, I just eat right. And I'm like, fucker, because like it's so easy to maintain because we are all active dudes. Like even as big as I am, I'm still active every day. It's just the intake. Because he's like, I don't eat a fucking huge meal every time I eat. I eat a like handful.
And that's a hard thing after training Muay Thai. If you compete,
so deficit.
You eat a lot because you're just grinding it, right?
Your body's
and
just
I've seen
screaming.
some people within myself too. After you stop training that hard, and you eat the same,
and you just keep eating. That was me, man. Like, but I mean, I wasn't. I don't think I was eating though. I think it was that I was depriving myself of all the stuff that I wanted for so long that when I got it and I was like, oh, I can eat this again, and it was like so fucking good, and I just kept eating it, and I was just like, this is my life now. And it sucks because every single day of my life, I think to myself, I'm like, okay, today's going to be the day I turn it around, or I stop, or I do this, or I do something different. And then I go through the day and something just triggers me, and I'm like, okay, well, tomorrow will be the day that I do it again. And, you know, there's my life. Unfiltered. So like, that's going to be the end, and we'll beatbox out because that's our thing. We're not going back to old stuff. That was just for funsies. Unfiltered.